How's everybody doing? We got another TwoSun on the table here, and one that I didn't really necessarily think I was going to pick up, but I did, and I'm really happy I did. This is TS178, also known as the Tentara, as you can see by my lovely little label going on here. And yes, this thing is a Karambit. This is a joint venture, kerchunk, between NightMorning and Tepe designs. This is number 165. And this is an S90V. And this S90V seems to be doing pretty good work. This took a reasonable amount of effort to be able to sharpen. And haven't really had too many problems with it staying sharp. That being said, it is kind of a curved blade, as in recurve inward, as most Karambits are, but not incredibly severe compared to a lot of others. And that does help it out a lot on the utility front here. This thing is really comfortable in a lot of ways. For one, massive finger choil, even big enough for me. I feel super safe using this thing here. We have some nice chamfering on the edges that basically stops kind of right around here. It basically transitions into a very, very crisp spine. I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily know exactly why you would, but if you wanted to use this as a ferro rod kind of scraping device here, yeah, you can see it's removing skin from the side of my finger there. So it gets sharp, but nowhere near where you actually end up interacting with the blade pretty much in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, really comfortable here. Also really comfortable back here. The ring here, large enough for my pinky, super comfortable in that particular way. And you can, you can carry it without having your finger in there as well. That works out pretty darn well. And yeah, if you are using it in that kind of reverse hammer grip, like a lot of people will do for tactical sort of things, then that works pretty well. For me, not so much trying to fit my giant finger all the way in there, but generally you don't using your index finger, you only take it to the second knuckle anyway, and that's perfectly fine with me. This is a titanium frame lock. We have just a little tiny bit of weight relieving going on the inside here. And of course, this is fully contoured. You got some micro milling here. This little divot here is basically mirroring what it is on the back end, where we have a large ceramic ball used for the clip little detent area where that sits. And it works out pretty darn well. It ends up having a decent amount of ramp up to it, so it's not super difficult to get in and out of the pocket there. You do have this little guy, so you can reverse flick that guy. As with most frame locks, I can't really seem to get that to deploy very comfortably with my thumb, but hey, it's got a super large flipper tab there for a reason. This thing feels super, super good in the hand. I was really impressed with it when I got it. I ended up winning an auction on this for, I want to say $98, so under $100, which, TwoSun's known for value and stuff like that. A lot more people are getting interested in them, so those values are diminishing a little bit as time goes on, but still, sometimes you can grab yourself a gem, like a titanium frame lock Karambit in S90V steel for under $100. Yeah, I really, really end up liking this one. With this recurve here, pretty difficult to sharpen with most of those fixed angle sharpeners like you would get on the KME or the Work Sharp Precision Edge or Precision Adjust. I keep calling it the wrong thing internally in my mind, so there we go. So in this particular case, I've basically sharpened this on my belts with the Work Sharp Ken Onion with blade grinding attachment. That works really well for anything that has a recurve to it, and it also has a bit more of a convex edge to it than you would get out of there. Not quite the same amount of polish because, well, it's really hard to get, or yeah, it's not really super possible to get the hell is my mind going to? These things. Lapping films. There we go. Now that I actually see them in front of me. So, yeah, not quite the same mirror polish, but still cuts like an absolute champ. I got myself some, paper here. I probably have some fingerprints on here. I do use this thing quite a bit, especially if I have some cardboard just left over and I just want to go buck wild on some stuff. Then yeah, it's an absolute blast to just zip through some stuff with this guy. Really, really nicely ground thin behind the edge there. We do have a 3.9 millimeter, an actual full 4 millimeter blade stock thickness on this, but as you can see, very tall, full flat grind. Comes down to a very, very nice geometry behind the edge there. This is, it's not going to be a super, super lightweight knife. It's 5.47 ounces or 155 grams. And for that, you get basically 2.91 inches from the back of the handle here up towards the front. So it's not going to be like one of those ridiculous 4 to 5 inch folding karambits that Cold Steel makes, but this is much more of a compromise between something that's very much tactically inclined, but is still very, very useful for a lot of everyday tasks. This thing works great for that. The reverse grip, because it's got that nice curve to the back of it, works really well, and that curve will hold on to something if you're trying to cut through it like a rope or something like that. Works out super, super great for it. We do have some pivot collars on both sides. These are polished titanium. So if you wanted to anodize those a different color than the rest of it, hey, that's an option to you. One thing that probably isn't my absolute favorite is the clip with the ceramic ball works all right, but this clip gets fairly thin back here, so it does have a bit of flex to it. I haven't really damaged it or anything like that, but I do actually kind of worry about having this thing catch on something and what might end up happening to it. So that might be something to keep into consideration if you don't like clips that flex like at all, whereas this one flexes just a little bit more than most other milled titanium pocket clips out there. And the blade, or the width of the handle here, these are contours, so we're talking basically right here in the middle is 0.57 of an inch, so it's a little thicker. But because of that, you get a little bit more comfortable hand swells where you want them, rather than just flat scales like you would get out of like a PM2 or something like that. Speaking of, I can go ahead and do some size comparisons. Starting with, I guess, PM2 here. And, oh, I don't know, it's in front of me. Sure, let's do another Spyderco. We got the Endura 4 here. Ontario Rat number 1. Which is actually impressive because this is, less than a 3-inch blade, but, whatever. I could do a couple of Benchmates here, but, both of them that I have aren't incredibly large. We got the Bug Out and the 940 here. And I should probably also compare this to the 242, which is the other TwoSun Karambit that I have. Here we are. There we go, there's a 242. And yeah, you can see this one's a bit longer, much more aggressive talon curve on that. This one's a Mazwan Mokdar design. But yeah, this one makes a lot more sense to me carrying day to day. It just ends up working out a lot better for me. Oh, let's see. You know what? I hadn't actually got some of the metric measurements for some things like blade length and stuff like that. So how about if we go ahead and do that? I got basically 74 millimeters from swell of the handle here up to the tip. And as far as handle thickness goes, we got basically 14.5 or so millimeters going on there. Alrighty. Yeah, the detent on this guy is very crisp. You got a little bit of pressure, a little bit of pressure, a little bit more pressure, and then kerblam, it's out. Like, this thing is dialed in like a muff. Okay, probably don't say that, Jerry. It's dialed in very good. And yeah, also really great for doing that reverse flick. Both of them make a nice sound. No ringing or anything like that, which usually ends up making me worry, but some people do like that kind of sound when they open up a knife. I think a lot of that probably has to do with how well it's coupled onto the handles from a stop pen perspective or something like that. I honestly don't know. I don't have any of them that really make a ting sound, but there we go. So yes, absolutely love this darn thing. Yeah, a lot more than I thought I would. I would like to have the internal lock bar relief, just so we can keep the aesthetics a little cleaner on the front. But otherwise, yeah, this thing is a really good job. So hats off to NightMorning and Shen from Tepe Designs, because this one is just really fantastic. We do have this back spacer for the ring here. Extends very far up, but that blade, even if this wasn't here, no problems with any of those kind of funky snaggle teeth that some TwoSun designs can get there. So you're fully protected from all of that stuff. So yeah, that was the basics here I wanted to cover on it. It's a great knife, and at least, you know, with their newer S90V, you know, obviously this one is number 165, so it's a lot newer than the first production runs and everything. This S90V seems to be doing pretty well. It's pretty middle of the road, but still really fantastic. So there we go. That's my thoughts and everything here. I will go ahead and open this guy up for those of us who are interested in kind of what's going on the inside. But for everybody else, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. So, alrighty, here we go. We got T8 construction all the way around. I don't believe I actually need to take that clip off at all. But I do have a couple of these guys here. And of course the pivot. And I have some Loctite that was in there. Knock knock, coming in. All right, yeah, so we have, geez, I got some crud and some stuff in here from using it. Should probably clean that up while I'm in here. But yeah, we got the nice ring back spacer, and we do have a bit of weight relieving going on here. A little bit less on the lock bar side. That's normal for how a lot of frame locks are made. Over travel stop going on there. And yeah, look at the beefy size of this stop pen here. There is no way that thing is going to be warped or anything like that going forward. So yeah, pretty good. And we have their standard bearing races there with their ceramic bearings. Now that I'm actually inside here, I'm going to go ahead and wipe out that cardboard residue and or whatever else that might actually be. Kind of the nice thing about these particular Chicago standoff screw, whatever you want to call them, is that one of them isn't longer than the other one due to it being attached to the pocket clip. So you don't really have to worry about which order they go in. So, you know, if you are worried about any of that sort of stuff, then this one is a little bit easier than most others to be able to put back together. We also don't really have any pins in the middle of this, just a couple of the Chicago screws. Seems like a little bit more of these, if they, using their more recent production methods, this would probably have a single Chicago screw back here and then maybe 1 or 2 pins up here instead. So just a little bit more of a burly construction than you might get on something that might have been done just a little bit sooner. All right, here's the top of the wrist cam in case anybody has missed that recently. And we can go ahead and close this guy up here. I still definitely have enough lubrication in here, so I don't really feel I need to re-lubricate that after I kind of wiped out the residue that was in there. Kind of looked like someone might have eaten some Doritos over it, but I'm pretty sure that was just kind of a cardboard residue and things. But yeah, still super nice action. It's not going to be drop shotty, but it'll definitely close on you if you do. This thing is, or if you do try that, it's maybe just a little bit too tight. Just a little bit of blade play. There we go. Yeah, we're back in business. Yeah, super easy to open them up and clean them out if you need to, which is definitely something that I needed to do here. So yeah, that is the TS178 Tentara. Almost called it the 165, but no, that's the number of this one's production. So all right, there we go. Everything that I wanted to cover here about this guy. It's a pretty darn fantastic design, which is pretty impressive because I'm not usually into Karambits all that much, but this one kind of hits a certain little part of my brain that I end up enjoying with it. So yeah, all right. As always, I appreciate y'all for watching, and